The RDX got a full refresh last year. This is a 2023 Acura RDX A-Spec Advance in liquid carbon with black leather interior. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over what the different features you get with the A-Spec and the Advance on the exterior and on the interior, and take it for a drive. In the front, dual LED headlamps, 7 different lights for daytime runnings, headlamps. On the lower, you're getting 3 LEDs for the fog lamp. Gloss black is going to have a touch there, and on the side curtain and wrapping around the Pentagon grille, which illustrates a flow of motion even at a set still. Over 8 inches of clearance, which will be better than the Infiniti QX50 and the Volvo XC60. Going to have a smaller hood projection, but I like the line structures that go in and the way the jewel lights flow into the quarter panel with the A-Spec badging. A-Spec is going to include black headliner, sports steering wheel, leather wrapped sports seats with the ultra suede inserts, 20-inch alloy wheels with 255/45 all-season tires, exclusive sports styling on the exterior. Pairing it with these wheels definitely makes it look more dynamic. 12.4 inches is the disc reading, ventilated behind it. 12.2 is the rear. It's solid McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. Better weight distribution than the Infiniti QX50 at 57.43, where that's over 50, it's almost 59.41. So you're gonna have a little bit of fun and dynamics. It's not gonna be quite as athletic as the Germans, meaning BMW or Mercedes. And it gets the traditional boxy SUV style with the gloss black that's going to surround and go into lower rear spoiler. It's a VTEC engine, 2.0 liter, 4-cylinder turbocharge with 272 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque, paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Super handling all-wheel drive gets 22 mpgs to the city, 27 mpgs for the highway. 0 to 60 in this is going to be in the mid 6 seconds, underneath 7 seconds, which is faster than the QX50. No need for a CVT transmission, because you got a VTEC engine. I like how Acura has went that extra step to make this a more classic drive on the exterior styling approach, but look how athletic it is on the rear with these massive 4-inch exhaust tips that are slanted to keep that sporty Q, get the grille pattern and the diffuser. You're not going to receive this much performance style in the Volvo or the Infiniti. When you go to the German rivals, you can, but the price will start escalating. Power lift gate to go inside, 29.5 cubic feet. 12-volt charger, a deep storage pocket on the side. Underneath the floor, you get a storage compartment, and you can fold that out to keep it nice and flat. What they have done correctly is you can split fold the rear bench in the back. That's going to increase the cargo to 58.9 cubic feet. It's a lower sit, a wider opening. Let's go inside, start it up so you can hear that VTEC exhaust note. Going inside the A-Spec RDX, which is going to be a lot more sporty. We have the Advanced package. We have everything that you would want. Headroom at 40 inches. Legroom, 42 inches. The dashboard starts off more sporty because of the A-Spec. So you get the ultra suede inserts with the contrast stitching in red, gloss black around the air vents, wraps around into the door panels, no carbon fiber trim in the center dual climate control settings, dynamic mode with the gloss black that's going to surround Acura's true touchpad that does everything for the infotainment screen. It's a 10.2 inch non-touch screen. Heads-up display going into the driver gauge cluster, which can go through an array of information for the driver. More sporty with the 3-spoke leather wrap heated steering wheel, multi-function with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, paddle shifters, and the stocks. Two tiers, so underneath you'll have the wireless charging pad with a 12 volt, a USB port, and it's a pretty deep and long storage pocket. Here can close up to make a little bit of a tray with the palm rest that slide it open with the cup holders, another USB port in an area for some sunglasses. Going to be more sporty with the contrast stitching, open up inside, and it is a deep storage pocket, just not as wide, and the key fob for the RDX. The door panel starts with the blind spot monitoring inside, memory for the driver, the ultra suede inserts with the contrast stitching, ELS upgraded sound system, one touch up and down for all the windows. It's going to be soft where you rest your arms, a medium-sized storage pocket with the beverage holder in the front, and a large pano moonroof that goes all the way to the back seats. For the back seat, headroom at 38 inches, legroom 38 inches. Has a lot of space. Unfortunately, the seats do not recline or move forward. The back seats receive two USB ports, heated rear seats, the air vents in the center, and storage behind both of the front seats. The panel moonroof goes behind my head, which is a large and wide pano. ELS sound system up on the top. The door panels going to have the same materials as the front. Hard, nice and soft with the ultra suede. Soft where you rest your arms. One touch up and down for the windows, and a storage pocket with two beverage holders. Sitting into the center headroom, still no issue. Leg space isn't bad either. I am almost against the back of the front seats in the position I'd be sitting, sharing butt and shoulder space. Feet space isn't bad because the rails are pushed up and you have your own area more or less to put your feet, so you're not going to be sharing a substantial amount. The RDX is a very unique setup. You have over 8 inches of clearance, which is better than its competitors, 272 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque out of that VTEC engine, and it's motivated. You're getting in the mid 6-second margin. That's quick for a vehicle the size of this with the curb weight and all the amenities. You're getting a luxury ride. 18-way power seat adjustment. You're not going to receive that with the Infiniti. When you get into Volvo, you're going to start spending an extra probably $5,000 to $10,000 to get comparable features. The only thing I will say that this would be not as good in the Volvo wise is that's a touchscreen, and this you have to use the True Touch pad, which it's very sensitive and it works quick, pretty responsive. Just when you start the car, it does take a little bit longer than my liking to engage into the navigation. We got it in sport mode, 57/43 weight distribution. Super handling all-wheel drive. It's gonna feel pretty athletic, especially with that exhaust note that filters in. It does not sound like a Turbo 4. Just when you leave it into sport mode, it will make you change gears around 2.5 to 3 RPM. It's not going to get the most optimal gas consumption. It's gonna take me to some things I like and dislike, and starting off with is what I like about the RDX. When you get the A Spec, it definitely makes it look more sporty on the outside, and it brings it into the inside, getting the ultra suede inserts, the contrast stitching. Doesn't necessarily matter the color combo you get, but the liquid carbon exterior with this ebony interior, I think it does make it look a lot more sporty, and it's not going to make it look outdated. The next thing that I like about the vehicle is on the exit. They have the most aggressive exhaust setup of pretty much all of the competition, unless you go into an M car or an AMG, and then you're spending a lot more money. You could buy a his and her for this. The last thing that I like is in the cargo. You can split fold the rear bench in the trunk. You don't have to go outside like other brands and do 2-3 step process. It's a wide opening, and it's almost similar to a hatchback. Even though you have over 8 inches of clearance, it doesn't feel like that when you're loading or unloading things in the cargo. You need to click things on the fly to make sure you don't scratch your upgraded wheels. Click the camera button on the stock, and you can see everything with the 360-degree camera. So they have made it very user-friendly and given you the sport feel, because you got the dynamic modes right here, in which this is an SUV. Usually you don't feel as dynamic when you start getting into an everyday type of car or a luxury vehicle. But because they have it set up like this, it makes it a lot more sporty. Some things I dislike about the vehicle, like I was saying, the infotainment screen, it takes a little bit longer to get engaged at the beginning when you're starting the vehicle. It doesn't just instantly go into your navigation or your Bluetooth connectivity. It actually has to load, and it feels like it's a little bit slower of a processor. Before we get to anything else, we're going to put it back in sport, try to get it as straight as possible, show you those dynamics. The steering wheel doesn't have hardly any weight to it, but it has that playful characteristic that makes you want to just keep pushing the gas pedal. The next thing that I dislike is in the center cluster, you can close it up, but it doesn't really sit flush for your arms to rest. It's really an elbow and a palm rest, and that's only if you're tall. If you're shorter, your arms are going to fall into the cup holders or that area that covers them up. Going to put it in comfort. Turn radius. It's going to get about 2 lanes. Give her a little go. Not going to be as throaty. Every window is dual pane. The last thing that I dislike is this is the least in class for towing. Even the Infiniti QX50 gets 3,000 pounds. This is only 1,500. Volvo, BMW, so forth and so on, they all escalate and get into a higher towing capacity in which this has the performance behind it, and it's priced at a decent sweet spot. If you want it fully loaded like this, you're gonna have to spend right around 60 grand, which is about the same for any of the vehicles that it compares to. Safety is taken care of with Acura Watch. You got adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, frontal collision. Acura does go above and beyond. And when you're optioning a 23, you now get 2 years complimentary service. Throwing it into sport mode at a 20-ish mile per hour. Let's go. It really does have that dynamic feel, and it pushes you back because you have nearly 300 pound-feet of torque. Going back to the competitors, the Germans are going to be a little bit more athletic. Once you keep going up the tier, it will start escalating the price to get features in which you have in this. When you go to more comparable comparisons like Infiniti and Volvo, you're going to see a lot of similarity cues, but this is going to be a little bit faster depending on the trim or the engine option that you get with the Volvo, in which that will escalate the price, and you can spend about $5,000 to $10,000 more than you would with this, and you still have that performance drive. And it has a very airy, ergonomic feel to the front. And in the back, you have plenty of room for 3 occupants with cargo. I'd like to thank Regal Acura for giving us this 2023 Acura RDX A-Spec Advance for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video and the subscribe button. Check out the merchandise website, Instagram, leave a comment and a like.